Hey there, Jeff Manchester, Manchester Music. Welcome. If you're wondering why I'm holding the microphone like James Murphy or something, it's because I thought this video would be different. I want to show you my room. I want to show you the place where I work, create music, think about the music I create, think about all that stuff, mix, master to an extent, and obviously produce video content. So now that the space is up to a standard I'm happy, with, I think that it's a good time to show it off and show you the kind of stuff that I use, the tools that I use to work with. So I'm going to walk around with the mic. I'm going to do my best to get rid of mic handling noise in post-production. And I've got my phone here that I'm going to use to show you the space. I'll try not to make it too jerky and have you vomiting or anything like that. So let's get up and walk around the space and show you what's going on here. All right. So I'm going to turn the light on. Now there's a lot of light in this room. So right behind me, or in front of me, if I'm addressing the camera, I've got a couple of panels here. These are prime acoustic panels, and I've got more over here. And these are just kind of not so thick panels. I should probably do a little bit more treatment in the corners, but as you see, I've got some pretty bad luck. I've got a door here, which makes a corner trap or a corner panel difficult. And I've got another door over there, which makes a trap difficult over there. So it is a bit of a tricky situation. So I could probably do something in the corners, but for now I've got these two columns here and I've got some plants. These are real plants, and they have brought me a lot of joy. I've got more plants around the office, but it's really nice to have something to water and maintain and manage. Something kind of amazing happens when you have plants. You tend to kind of prune them and treat them and water them. And when you're doing those things, you stop thinking about everything else in your life. And I can see why some people say a garden is great for mental health because, anyway, plants are awesome. They're great. I have a fake light here. This is just battery powered. And I think I took some of the juice out of it. So right now it's just purely a prop. It doesn't even light up. So, yeah, hardwood floors, a little messy in the corner, but the door is here that leads to the rest of the house. And now we can see my camera. This is a C70 Canon cinema camera. It's above and beyond, what I ever expected to be using, but it's phenomenal. And I also have on it a Sigma lens. This is a 18 to 35 millimeter, and it's always just been amazing and great. The tripod, by the way, tripods are terrible, as I've learned, but this one isn't too bad. It's a Manfrotto. The specific make and model I don't know. I guess the make I do know, but anyway, so that's what I use to capture myself. I'll stick it on sticks, and sometimes I'll position it just behind the desk over there when I need to get some some driving or some tutorial content, and sometimes I'll just put it over here and address it, and that's a little monitor that flips out in a very handy way. I've also got some more lights here. These are practical lights from Aperture. And these guys, I can take out both my hands are kind of occupied. But I could take a bulb out, turn it on, and then I can change it to whatever color or temperature I want from my phone, which is super handy for practical lighting. And I've done that in videos before. So that's kind of nice. And obviously a little power bar here, and that's the end of that. So this huge sunflower light here, if I go over to it, just behind it here, you can see that this is a Aperture 120. I think it's called Lightstorm Mark II. It's wonderful. It's sitting on a Mantis stand, and the dome that I have is super huge. And I've got like the egg crate thing and a basic, I don't know what material this is, diffuser. I always go for the diffuser. It just softens the light a little bit instead of the egg crate, which I think I'm saying that right, egg crate, which will direct the light, which I learned. And behind that, I've got another set of panels here. This is a larger panel from Prime Acoustic just behind that light stand. And over here I can control, the temperature and intensity and all that stuff. I'm using barely, just a scratch of what I can actually do with that light. So it's kind of sit there at 56%, and I've got a little piece of tape here to remind me what the default setting is, DF default. And there's a door here with more storage, and it gets in the way of me putting a corner trap, but it allows me to put more stuff in here, like boxes of stuff that I get. And then over here, we're going to get pretty washed out. And but this is the backyard. I've got more plants, little pothos, and other things going all along the edge here, which is really nice. But this is a window I open up and look out of when I need to look out a window and think about not work. So let me just drag this over. There we go. So as I turn over to the rest of the studio, we see some more panels along the left side of the room. And there's another, this is another Aperture Stormlight 120 Mark II. It's got a smaller mini dome, and it's also diffusing light. This is more for when I'm doing tutorials facing the computer, but otherwise it serves as a bit of a backlight or a hair light, which is kind of nice. It's just sitting there at about 13% more wires and cable, a Google Home thing, which is super helpful. And I have a couple of different mic stands. One of the mic stands that I used was sent to me very generously by a fan of the channel. It's a Bob Heil mic stand, and it's a broadcast arm. It's always served me really well. I've got a couple of Jewish friends that saw this on camera on Zoom when I'm in meetings, and they're like, "What does your microphone say?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Bob Heil." And anyway, it's kind of funny. I have a Hercules mic stand. I have two of these guys. I will never buy another mic stand again. They are incredible. Now, the specific make and model, I don't know. I keep saying make and model, but you know what I mean. I don't know, but Hercules is phenomenal, and I highly recommend them for anyone that just wants to buy one mic stand and have it for the rest of their lives instead of, I think it's K&H or whatever. They're great too, but like if you can afford a heavy-duty mic stand, it'll last you for the rest of your life, and this guy's amazing. So moving over to the rest here. Oh, we see my Lewitt mount and the pop filters there. Of course, I've got it in my hand. I'm trying not to handle it too much. Yamaha NS10M, and then there's another Yamaha NS10M, but here we go. Guess what? They are not plugged into anything. And the reason for this is this room gets really hot, and the amp these guys run into is very noisy, and I have yet to find an amp that's not going to cost me an arm and a leg that's going to be quieter. I'm sure I could go for like a Bryson or Hafler or something, but for now, the one I have is an ART SLA2, and it's okay, but it's just so noisy, and I decided they're kind of props for now, but maybe I'll find a cheaper, quieter amp and plug them in. Focal Solo BEs. These are good monitors. Over the years, I've gotten to know them really well. I'm probably going to upgrade or side grade or do something different because they're great, but I think their time is up, and I should give them to someone else and get something a little larger and perhaps a different make, maybe some Neumanns or something like that. We have more acoustic paneling here right behind the monitor, and there's some, I haven't been able to show these kind of cloud guys here. So we're creating a bit of a room within a room with these, and these really help to cut down reflections and just focus the sound in the sweet spot in the listening position. I've got an Apollo 8 quad where the sound runs through, and you can see a little bit of meter there going up. So my level is okay. I'm not peaking. I've got a pad on here at -6 dB on the Lewitt, so to protect against that. I record straight into RX, which is more of a how I make videos kind of thing, and maybe I'll do one of those if people want it, but I record straight into RX so I can do all the post and then just send it out and edit it later. Another Focal and another Yamaha keyboard and another keyboard. This is a 61 key native, I think, complete keyboard. It's on a stand, which is the worst keyboard stand I've ever used in my life, but I couldn't find anything better. It's just dreadful, and I hate it, but whatever. Don't remember the make or model to tell you guys to stay away from it. Maybe I'll find it and put it in the notes, but it's terrible. So this kind of slides out. Again, both my hands are spoken for, so I'd have to like get my leg and take it out. So that's what you see. I don't use the dials that much up there, so it's kind of hanging out here, and I can get what I need from these buttons down there. So over here we have another light. This isn't really like a camera light. It's one that I bought on Amazon and have had with me since forever. And it does a great job of just accenting the corner. There's no traps in the corner here. There's no traps in the corner there. I should probably get some traps soon, but a little hard to get over there now that I've built a bit of a vibe in here. But more plants, more things to water. We have a little mic locker and lens locker. So this is, I think, the Shure MV7 or something. I use that sometimes, USB mic. There's the Shure SM7B. I've got two lenses for my Sony camera. There's a little award I won for composing. I also have a other camera here, which is the Sony A7 III. which I used to use for the channel, and now that I have the C70, I don't anymore. I've got this spider checker, which is really helpful for when I'm doing my color correction, or my white balance before a video starts. And on the other side, you've got some more colors. Let me just flip this over. More colors there, so that's pretty handy. This is the Mac Pro. This is coming up on like 10 years now that I've had this, because I got it in 2014. So we're almost 2022. It's very long in the tooth. I'm waiting for M1 desktop Macs, and then I'll probably upgrade. And then a bunch of drives, which have a bunch of sample libraries. And I guess I should say I've got these two speakers on stands here. I can't remember the make, but that one's on a stand. This guy is on an ISO acoustic stand, which is really useless now because they're not plugged in, but they do make a great difference as far as I'm concerned. More panels over here, and then another panel over here of the same kind of ilk. These are GIK acoustic panels, and they just look great and they do their job. Another set of panels right here, which is great. And then we have another kind of station. This is an iMac Pro. This make is discontinued now, but it was like 2018 or 19. It's pretty specced out. This is where I do all of my editing and most of my work for the company I work for. And I've got a Focusrite, because sometimes I'll use the Telestream ScreenFlow and it won't sync picture, computer, audio, and voiceover well anymore. So I have to go to a different source to capture the voiceover. So I have that as a backup. It's cheap, it does its job. And this is also on a keyboard stand, which is way better than the one I bought for my Complete, but I'm using it now to prop up this little mini station. This chair is pretty beat up and old. I got it from IKEA and I should probably replace it, but it has been with me for a really long time through a couple of moves. I keep little pieces of tape on the floor so I know where my marks are. And now you can also see I have a little pedal for my piano. And that is the room. And now this is very trippy. I'll just kind of put this here. Yeah, that's the room. That's the space that I'm in. So yeah, why don't we kind of sit down and say goodbye and yeah. So thank you so much for watching. Welcome to my space. If you have any questions about how anything else is set up, or why I have something or why I don't have something else, I'm going to read all the comments. So leave one, and like, subscribe, hit the little bell icon. That way you get notified when a new video goes up. I'm doing them every Monday, so I appreciate your support. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoy the tour. Take care.